We are at Memingan and let's get ready for another budget trip with us. Chasing the sun across the horizon, heading towards an island that has more history per square inch than almost anywhere on the earth. If you want to experience soul of the Mediterranean without the summer sweat, March is best time to go.
So you exit from here and then you have this, so you can get your card here.
€27 for 7 days and €21 for 5 days.
You can also get your card from the kiosk. We will be taking a bus to our hotel. The whole country is not that big, so you can reach around anywhere maximum in an hour.
We took a Talinja card, and every time you enter the bus, you need to scan your card. I recommend you to download the Talinja app to check the real-time connections.
You can also scan the code and download the app. This particular card is only valid for the bus transport.
Our first day dinner at Turkish Kebab Corner was pathetic. Do not ever eat here.
9:30 p.m. We have already checked in. So this is our room, which is pretty small, but it's kind of having storage spaces here. There's a bathroom here, which is pretty big also.
While booking, we booked a room with the balcony, but the receptionist was Indian, so he gave us room with a view of Valletta and Gasira Harbour.
So for this particular room, we paid $264 for 2 people, including breakfast. So they took €100 of deposit from us. So if any damage happens after you leave the room, then of course they will cut it off.
On the left, you're seeing these domes. That's the current capital city of Malta, Valletta, and on my right, you're seeing the harbour. It's the best decision that we booked a hotel with a breakfast because look at the spread. We decided to have heavy breakfast, then light lunch, and again some heavy thing for dinner so that we can also save some money on eating food outside. Breakfast timings were 7 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. So I think you can have your breakfast early and leave for rest of the day. And here is my breakfast plate. Has some protein, carbs, fruits, cheese, salad. So do not forget to eat your protein, guys. It's very important.
Mostly we will be covering this trip with the bus because we have the pass.
It's officially day 2 in Malta. If yesterday was about the journey, today is about stepping back 4,000 years. We are heading to Mdina, the silent city. But don't let the name fool you. These walls have seen more drama, blood, and betrayal than the Hollywood blockbuster.
Malta is really very clean. Every street is clean.
These are Carosin, Malta's traditional horse-drawn carriage. They are roaming inside Mdina streets since the mid-19th century. Usually, a tour around Mdina and parts of Rabat costs between €30 to €35 for half an hour.
We are at Malta's iconic Mdina today, and it's known as the Silent City. It is also surrounded by all the walls. You can say fortified walls. Whenever you will be planning a Mdina tour, then your private car is not allowed inside. So it is only allowed for doctors or ambulance or particular registered cars. Since we all know about this particular gate, which is already exists right now, but this was the old gate. It got destroyed during the bombing.
Silence here is actually a law. Only about 250 to 300 people live inside these walls today. Most are descendants of the original noble families who have lived here for centuries. To keep the silent city tag, private cars are banned for everyone except residents.
Also, this is giving me a mixed vibe of Split, Croatia. When we visited the old town of Split, it also had the similar kind of house structures. Even the lanes, which are very, very narrow here.
Look closely at the streets. They are not straight. That's not a mistake. They were designed as a maze to confuse invaders and to make sure that if an arrow was fired, it couldn't travel more than a few meters before hitting a wall. We have reached the back walls at Bastion Square, which offers insane view across half of Malta. From the winding roads below to the massive silver dome of the Mostar Rotunda, all the way to the Mediterranean Sea. 4,000 years ago strategy, this plateau has been the ultimate keep-out sign for invaders.
So the name Mdina came from the Arabic word that is Medina. During Roman times, it was named as Melite.
You can't visit Mdina without stopping at Fontanella Tea Garden. It's been here since 1975 and honestly, it's famous for two things, the views and the chocolate cake.
This is a traditional pastisi which comes with filling of peas.
The Phoenicians first fortified this city around 700 BC. Then Romans took over. But it was the Arabs in the 9th century who gave it the name we use today, Mdina, meaning walled city, and dug the deep moat to separate it from Rabat. Your GPS is failed here because look up at the corners. These street signs are hand-painted ceramic Majolica tiles have survived centuries of sun and salt. It's the piece of art and old craft brought over from Sicily and Spain. While everyone uses the main gate, the real local secret is the Greek gate. Back in the day, this was the only entrance the lower class and slaves were allowed to use. The Arabs originally dug this massive ditch to separate Mdina from Rabat for better defense. Today, that old battle zone has been turned into the Howard Gardens. The moment you step across the bridge from Mdina, you are in Rabat. In Arabic, Rabat literally means suburb because that's actually what it was, the town outside the fortified walls. Rabat is much more alive and lived in. You've got the famous Domus Romana, a 2000-year-old Roman villa with some of the best preserved mosaics in the world, sitting right on the edge of the ditch. Just down the street is Serkin, the most famous pastisi shop on the island, where people grab a snack before heading underground into the massive St. Paul's catacombs. While Mdina is silent and noble, Rabat is buzzing, authentic, and packed with hidden history. Literally, there are miles of catacombs right under your feet. This is the St. Paul Basilica in heart of Rabat. This Baroque masterpiece is built directly over the grotto where the Apostle Paul supposedly lived after his shipwreck in 60 AD. It's the spiritual soul of the town. If you want to see where Maltese history truly began, this is the spot. Paruchan Confectionery is a local legend that's been around for over 100 years. It's a family-run spot where they still make everything by hand using recipes passed down through generations. From handmade nougat to fresh cannoli, everything here is a piece of history you can actually eat. And that's a wrap to the Silent City Mdina and buzzing Rabat. This part of island really stole the show. History is around every corner in Malta. But next, we are heading somewhere a bit more cinematic. So stay tuned for the Popoy Village video. Until then, bye.